We have another collaboration announcement between Sony Interactive Entertainment and a new studio working on a new IP, specifically a multiplayer IP. Does this sound familiar? Does it feel like, we've been down this road before? Of course it does. However, there is one particular thing of note that caught my attention, but of course we have to be very, very skeptical when it comes to these types of announcements, but still, I would be remiss if I didn't let you guys know about it. So over on the official Sony Interactive Entertainment blog, they say SIE today announced a partnership with video game studio Bad Robot Games, a division of Bad Robot, the film, television, and theater production company founded by J.J. Abrams, for SIE to produce and publish the studio's upcoming project, an unannounced 4-player co-op shooter directed by Mike Booth, who is known for Left 4 Dead. The game is currently in development for PlayStation 5 and PC. More details on the game will be shared at a later date. Partnering with Sony Interactive Entertainment allows us to bring our new IP to life with an expansive vision for this new universe, said Anna Sweet, CEO of Bad Robot Games. With the support of PlayStation, we hope to deliver a bold, innovative experience that is truly special for players. I could not be more excited that Mike Booth is at the creative helm, crafting a cooperative adventure that will lead to unforgettable moments with friends. And finally, it says we're greatly impressed with the talent Bad Robot Games has assembled at their studio and are thrilled to partner with them to help produce and publish their upcoming game. This is what Christian Svensson, the vice president and head of second-party and third-party content ventures and strategic initiatives at SIE, said. He continued, their unique creative voice and passion for innovating across all forms of interactive entertainment perfectly aligns with SIE's mission to craft experiences that resonate deeply with players. We can't wait for gamers to step into the world they've been building. So, yeah, this is something that I believe is worth noting specifically because of the whole Left 4 Dead angle here. I'm not going to lie, they're getting me a little bit here, right? Normally, seeing something like this, I'd be like, oh, brother, here we go again. It's, just like Haven Studio. It's just like Firewalk Games, who is now closed, right, because of Concord. But at the same time, you also look at Arrowhead. Arrowhead was in a similar position with Sony, where they partnered with them. Sony believed in their vision and their game. They were there with Helldivers 1. It didn't really do anything too substantial. But then they, stayed committed to them for Helldivers 2, and we see what happened with that. So you can understand why Sony wants to continue to take these chances, and they always seem to kind of take these chances on veteran talent. Mike Booth has been around for a long time, and yeah, his most notable game is Left 4 Dead, and he was part of Turtle Rock Studios. It says in 2002, Booth founded Turtle Rock Studios, where he served as CEO and game director. In 2003, Booth programmed an official bot that enabled offline multiplayer play in Counter-Strike. He was project lead and a lead designer for Counter-Strike Condition Zero, released in 2004. In 2004, he began creating cooperative online game Left 4 Dead, for which he was also the lead designer. Booth created the AI director in Left 4 Dead that dynamically adjusted a player's experience of the game during each playthrough. Now, I wanted to highlight that last part specifically because this is somebody that you might really want to pay attention to in terms of what they're creating next. I just watched an entire video that talked about, what was that game? Back 4 Blood. Back 4 Blood was supposed to be basically Left 4 Dead 3. And it was made by Turtle Rock, and it was made by a few people that also worked on Left 4 Dead. But one of the things that was highlighted in this video that caught my attention was the fact that something that was seemingly missing in Back 4 Blood was that kind of genius AI director that made Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2 feel so special in that sense. And the person who was making the video even specifically said, I guess the person who worked on that is no longer there and didn't work on Back 4 Blood. And it's so funny to me that just a couple days later, I'm reading this and I'm finding out that, oh, that's because that person is working at Bad Robot Games and is now partnered with PlayStation to make a 4-player co-op game. Now, I can't lie. it's hard for me not to get just a little bit excited about this announcement because Left 4 Dead is one of my all-time favorite games. I mean, it is easily in the top 5. Also, Left 4 Dead 2. These games were revolutionary to me, and I have some of the best memories ever playing these games. And yeah, I was one of those people that was excited for Back 4 Blood, and I wanted to believe it was going to be Left 4 Dead 3, and we know how that turned out. Now listen, am I getting ahead of myself? Absolutely. You know that's what I do. But I can't help it because in my mind, I'm reading this and the fact that they keep highlighting Left 4 Dead. This guy is responsible for Left 4 Dead. You know, it's a big deal. I'm like, okay, so is Sony, are you telling me that you're partnering with a studio that's basically going to be the ones to make Left 4 Dead 3? We have no idea. They're simply saying it's a new IP. They're talking about it being a universe. I mean, this could really end up looking nothing like Left 4 Dead, but it's hard not to imagine that to some extent because they are saying it is a 4-player co-op shooter being helmed by the guy who's responsible for the overall design of Left 4 Dead. So yeah, naturally you think to yourself, it's going to be something like that, or it's going to have some kind of DNA there, right? We also do know that Valve helped with the development of Left 4 Dead, and they're seemingly not going to be involved with this, so we really don't know just how different this new IP is going to be. But I am going to end this on a more sobering note, I guess, and that is we got to make sure there's no hype here, guys. I'm sorry. I know I just talked about this in a somewhat exciting way for the last 5 or 6 minutes, but at the end of the day, we have seen this before with Sony. We've seen them announce these partnerships. And listen, I don't want to condemn Sony for taking these risks and taking chances like this on newly formed studios and veteran developers who have a vision and believe that they can create something great. I think it's really good that Sony takes these chances and cares enough to try to make these things work. But it's a double-edged sword, as we've seen. You can see the highs of something like Arrowhead with Helldivers and the absolute lows of something like Concord with Firewalk Games. It really is just a coin flip here. But when I look at the fact that they basically are working with the person who's responsible for some of the best co-op multiplayer gaming we've ever received, that gives me some level of hope, right? Some level. So it's going to be really interesting to see this game fully revealed. I don't know how long it's going to take. We don't know how far in development it is. They did say that, they're going to be sharing more with us at a later date. I would assume maybe sometime in 2026. But yeah, final thing I'll say here is I know that people are a little bit skeptical, about, oh man, here we go, another multiplayer game from Sony. But again, I just want to continue to highlight Helldivers 2, where that's exactly what that game is. It's a co-op multiplayer game on PS5 and PC. And we're still getting the big single-player games from Sony, so there's no worries there. But, I'm all for that. If they can make a great game that looks very appealing and will be really fun to play, that's all that really matters to me at the end of the day anyway. But yeah, we're just going to have to be patient and wait to see the official reveal of this game. And until then, I'm going to try my best to keep my expectations and my excitement as low as I can, just in case it turns out to be something very underwhelming or just something that doesn't interest me at all. How do you feel about this new IP and this partnership that Sony is announcing? Let me know down in the comments below. Leave the video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell notification icon and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.